Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Commissioner meeting of April 6, 2022 at 6 p.m. here at Sussex County Community College's Performing Arts Center in Newton, New Jersey. I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask Terry to please call the roll.
Commissioner Carney?
Here.
Commissioner Fantasia will be absent this evening. Director Fasano?
Here.
Commissioner Patillo?
Here.
Commissioner Yardley?
Here.
Thank you. Now I'd like to ask if you can please rise with me for a moment of silence and a salute to the flag.
Keep moving.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I wanted to take a moment tonight at the top of our agenda to recognize Commissioner Sylvia Patillo, who will be retiring. This will be her final meeting. I know we'll have some commentary for that later on, but we did just want at the top of our meeting to recognize and thank Commissioner Patillo. Item 4 on our agenda is our public statement. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail and email. Such notice being submitted on March 9, 2022, from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street in Newton, New Jersey, to the following: the New Jersey Herald, the Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, and WNNJ Radio, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for public announcements and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. At this time, we'd like to remind you to please mute all electronic devices. Item 5 on the agenda is the approval of our agenda. Do we have a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Item 6 on our agenda is our proclamation, certificates, and presentations. Our first one, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. This proclamation will be presented by Commissioner Yardley at Ginny's house on April 12th, 2022. Our next is April is Alcohol Awareness Month, and this proclamation will be read by Commissioner Yardley, and I believe we have accepting this proclamation Nick Louisi and Nicholas Kapantanakis from Health and Human Services. Are they here? They're here. Okay, cool. If you'd like to come on up to the microphone over here. Do we want to have him stay? And Herb, we're going to have you stay put because we can't get you
Excellent.
over there.
Okay.
If I may, I want to introduce one of my Municipal Alliance coordinators. This is Kathy Molinari from the Lenape Valley Municipal Alliance.
Hi, Kathy.
There are 11 municipal alliances in the county, and I'll go into that after Mr. Yardley is finished. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're Purple Day, April 22nd. Whereas alcohol is the most commonly used addictive substance in the United States, and whereas 1 in every 12 adults suffer from alcohol abuse or dependence, and more than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism or problem drinking, and whereas 100,000 people die each year from alcohol-related caused driving crashes and other accidents, falling, fires, alcohol-related homicides and suicides, and whereas teens who start drinking before the age of 14 are 7 times more likely to develop alcohol problems by the time they are 21. And whereas the month of April has been recognized as Alcohol Awareness Month by the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence, the founder and sponsor of Alcohol Awareness Month, and whereas the color that the NCADD, the National Council on Alcohol and Drug Dependence, uses is in the purple-violet family, a color that is similar to amethyst. Here is the reasoning behind the amethyst color. Amethyst is the most beautiful and valuable and from quartz. The word amethyst stems from the Greek word meaning without drunkenness. For in ancient times, it was believed that anyone carrying or wearing the stone could not become intoxicated. Anyone who displayed the amethyst color announced that they know someone whose life has been improved through alcoholism treatment. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners has recognized that Friday, April 22nd, 2020, is Wear Purple Day in the recognition of Alcohol Awareness Month, and encourages all of the citizens throughout Sussex County to join in wearing purple. By the Board of County Commissioners, Anthony Fasano, Commissioner, Director, Chris Carney, Deputy Commissioner, Sylvia Patillo, Herb Yardley, Dawn Fantasia, Commissioners. And I was very happy to read that alcoholism throughout the country is such a serious problem, and appreciate the work that you guys do.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the proclamation from the Board of Commissioners. Just a little bit of background. We operate under a grant from the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse. It's called the Municipal Alliance Grant. There are 11 municipal alliances in Sussex County, representing 22 of the 24 towns. We oversee prevention programming for each of those alliances. This year we have about 90 programs that are being presented throughout the county. One of them, or many of them, are related to preventing alcohol abuse and alcohol use, especially among teenagers. We know that we're in the midst of this opioid epidemic, but at the same time we still have the issues of problem drinking and alcoholism in the county. And the goal of Wear Purple Day is to just bring the awareness out to the community about the Alcohol Awareness Month of April. And we ask that people in the community wear purple on April 22nd and take a picture and send it to our county website of you wearing purple, because we put a nice little collage together of everybody who's helping support us in our work and keeping people safe and free from having issues with alcoholism. Thank you again. And on one final note, I do want to thank Commissioner Patillo for everything that she's done for us, especially the Municipal Alliance Program, because I know you were a big supporter of it even before you were a commissioner. And you are going to be missed by many of us, especially those of us in the Alliance Program. So thank you very much.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is a proclamation recognizing National County Government Month of April 2022, which I will read into the record. Whereas the nation's 3,069 counties, parishes, and boroughs serving more than 300 million Americans provide essential services to create healthy, safe, and vibrant communities. And whereas counties provide public health services, administer justice, keep communities safe, foster economic opportunities, and much more. And whereas Sussex County and all counties take pride in our responsibility to protect and enhance the health, well-being, and safety of our residents in efficient and cost-effective ways. And whereas, under the leadership of the National Association of Counties President Larry Johnson, the National Association of Counties is demonstrating how counties thrive, especially in supporting residents and businesses during the coronavirus pandemic. And whereas each year since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties across the country to elevate awareness of county responsibilities, programs, and services. And whereas the county has progressed beyond challenges of COVID-19 and its commissioners, staff, and professionals strive to continue to provide vital services to county's transportation infrastructure, delivery of services to seniors and vulnerable persons, and providing for the myriad of support functions needed to meet residents' needs. Now therefore be it resolved that the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners do hereby proclaim April 2022 as National County Government Month. Certified as a true copy resolution adopted tonight, April 6, 2022, by the order of the Board of County Commissioners, Anthony Fasano, Commissioner Director, Chris Carney, Deputy Commissioner, Sylvia Patillo, Herb Yardley, and Dawn Fantasia as Commissioners. Okay, do we have a motion to adopt the proclamations for this evening?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Item 7 on our agenda is a resolution authorizing the reading of the 2022 Sussex County budget by title only. Do we have a motion to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Item 8 is where we'll begin our public hearings. A lot of these items, including our budget, and all of the items that we do have public hearings on this evening, whether it's our budget, it was introduced at a budget workshop, and then again at a previous meeting, whether it's some of these ordinances, they were introduced at our previous meeting. If anybody does have any questions regarding these, we're happy to answer them. So item 8, we have our first public hearing. This is regarding the 2022 Sussex County budget as approved. On this item, I know commissioners will have some commentary in their board member comments later on this evening. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing for the 2022 Sussex County budget as approved?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries, and the public hearing is now open. Is anyone present to be heard regarding the 2022 county budget as approved? If you are, please line up to the microphone and state your name and municipality and maintain a 6 feet social distance between speakers. Seeing none, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion?
It's okay. I've been called many things. It's good.
Hearing no discussion, all in favor of closing the public hearing, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. 8A on the agenda is final adoption of the 2022 Sussex County budget as approved. Be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex that the budget hereinbefore set forth is hereby adopted and shall constitute an appropriation for the purposes stated of sums therein set forth as appropriations, an authorization of the amount of $99,653,238 for the county purposes to be raised by taxation, and certification to the County Board of Taxation of the following summary of general revenues and appropriations. Is there a motion to finally adopt the 2022 county budget as approved?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none. Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia is absent. Director Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Item passes. Item B is the final adoption of Ordinance 2201. At our regular meeting held on March 23, 2022, we introduced for first reading the following ordinance, which was advertised in the New Jersey Herald issue of March 25, 2022, together with a notice of public hearing stating it would be held at this meeting here tonight at 6 p.m. Is there a motion for this public hearing to be opened?
I'll make it.
Commissioner Yardley moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Is there anyone present to be heard regarding this resolution? If you are, please come to the microphone and state your name and municipality, and please maintain 6 feet social distance with other speakers.
Good evening, Kenneth Collins, Andover, New Jersey, Andover Township. I'm here because of this bond ordinance. Here we are, we're going to spend millions of more dollars on facilities here at the county college, and seeing as how you just passed the budget for the year, I think it would be more frugal to be careful about the money we spend here. I've been tracking the attendance here at the school. The enrollment has dropped year after year for the last 20 years, and it's down to half of what it was at the turn of the century. And I think, you should just really kind of tighten the purse strings on what you're spending. I know you're getting money from the state, and that's the motivation to put the money that the taxpayers are taking out of their own pockets to the tune of $2,800,000. I think that's a lot to spend on a facility that's losing its enrollment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other public comments regarding this item? Hearing none, is there a motion that this public hearing be closed?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Just for clarification, this item is a $2.8 million item. What it calls for is capital projects at the Sussex County Community College, including capital repairs, paving, classroom improvements, academic facility retrofitting, technology equipment, security and safety improvements, and improvements at the Public Safety Training Academy. In this case, regarding this particular item, the county is responsible for 50%, the state being responsible for the other 50% pursuant to Chapter 12 laws, just for clarification.
If I could comment?
Yeah.
The enrollment at the Sussex County Community College is stable. I believe all of the other county colleges have shown a decrease in their enrollment. So our college has showed a stable number, and hopefully that will go up as more people return to it. I think the direction of the college has gone into vocational and the culinary, and it appears that those have been very popular with the students in the county.
Thank you, Herb. Any other comments? Okay, now I need a motion that this resolution be finally adopted. I'm sorry.
Could you just take a voice vote on the close of the hearing?
I'm sorry. All in favor of closing the public hearing, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. And now I need a motion that this resolution be finally adopted and authorize the clerk to advertise this resolution as finally adopted and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia is absent. Director Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Item C is the final adoption of Ordinance 2202. At our regular meeting held on March 23, 2022, we introduced for first reading the following ordinance, which was advertised in the New Jersey Herald issue of March 25, 2022, together with a notice of public hearing stating it would be held at this meeting at 6 p.m. Do we have a motion that the public hearing be opened?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Is anyone present to be heard regarding this resolution? If so, please line up at the microphone and state your name and municipality, maintaining a 6 feet social distance between speakers. Seeing none, can I please have a motion that this public hearing be closed?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Now I need a motion that this resolution be finally adopted and authorize the clerk to advertise this resolution as finally adopted and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion?
Yes. We are required to issue these bonds. $3.5 million comes back to us from the state of New Jersey, and, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there's a one-time, from the sale of the homestead, there's $3 million that is applied to this. Greg, am I correct or not?
No, that was the library.
No, that's wrong?
That's the library.
I think you're thinking
The library.
of the
Oh, I'm thinking of the
yeah,
library.
of the library.
Okay, sorry about
but
that.
to provide just a little further clarity to this, this is the result of the Securing Our Children's Future Bond Act grant. This project includes the demolition of the pool infrastructure and the construction of expansion of the classroom space at the Votech School. The state has awarded about $4.7 million towards this program, and the county is responsible for the remaining 25%. At our last meeting, we spoke about, and it has been discussed a lot, about
Sorry about that.
school aid funding, no worries, school aid funding in Sussex County and its impact that it can have potentially on career technical educational programming. That makes the technical school in prime position to expand now because of its demand, and certainly in the future because of its demand. But no worries. Okay, so Terry, if I'm right, we do have a motion, we do have a second, we are in discussion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia is absent. Director Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Next, item D is final adoption of Ordinance 2203. At our regular meeting held on March 23, 2022, we introduced for first reading the following ordinance, which was advertised in the New Jersey Herald issue of March 25, 2022, together with a notice of public hearing stating that it would be held at this meeting here at 6 p.m. With that, is there a motion that the public hearing be opened?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a
Second.
second? Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Is there anyone present to be heard regarding this resolution? If so, please state your name and municipality. When you arrive to the microphone, please state 6 feet social distance between speakers. Is there anyone present to be heard regarding this resolution? Hearing none, can I please have a motion that this public hearing be closed?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? This public hearing is now closed. And now I need a motion that this resolution be finally adopted and authorize the clerk to advertise this resolution as finally adopted and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia is absent. Director Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Item E is final adoption of Ordinance 2204. At our regular meeting held on March 23, 2022, we introduced for first reading the following ordinance, which was advertised in the New Jersey Herald issue of March 25, 2022, together with a notice of public hearing stating that it would be held at this meeting here at 6 p.m. Is there a motion that this public hearing be opened?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? This public hearing is now open. Is there anyone present to be heard regarding this resolution? If so, please state your name and municipality. And when you arrive to the microphone, please maintain 6 feet social distance between speakers. Is there anyone present to be heard regarding this item? Seeing none, can I please have a motion that this public hearing be closed?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? The public hearing is now closed. Now I need a motion that this resolution be finally adopted and authorize the clerk to advertise this resolution as finally adopted and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia is absent. Director Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Item F is the final adoption of Ordinance 2205. At our regular meeting held on March 23, 2022, we introduced for first reading the following ordinance, which was advertised by the New Jersey Herald issue of March 25, 2022, together with a notice of public hearing stating that it would be held at this meeting at 6 p.m. Is there a motion that this public hearing be opened?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? This public hearing is now open. Is there anyone present to be heard regarding this resolution? If so, please state your name and your municipality when you arrive to the microphone and maintain a 6 feet social distance. Anyone present to be heard on that? Seeing none, can I please have a motion that this public hearing be closed?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? This public hearing is now closed, and now I need a motion that this resolution be finally adopted and authorize the clerk to advertise this resolution as finally adopted and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds.
Whoa.
Any discussion?
Close call then.
I had to be quick.
Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia is absent. Director Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
And our final one this evening is final adoption of Ordinance 2206. At our regular meeting held on March 23, 2022, we introduced for first reading the following ordinance, which was advertised in the New Jersey Herald issue of March 25, 2022, together with a notice of public hearing stating that it would be held at this meeting at 6 p.m. Is there a motion that the public hearing be opened?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? This public hearing is now open. Is there anyone present to be heard regarding this resolution? If so, please state your name and municipality, and when you arrive to the microphone, please maintain a 6 feet social distance between speakers. Okay, and I need a motion for this public hearing to be closed.
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a
Altering.
second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? Public hearing is now closed. And now I need a motion that this resolution be finally adopted and authorize the clerk to advertise this resolution as finally adopted and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia is absent. Director Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Okay, item 9 on our agenda is public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make a comment of 3 minutes or less regarding an agenda item. Please line up at the microphone and maintain 6 feet social distance with other attendees. When you do so, please state your name, your municipality, and the agenda topic for the record. If there are speakers here who wish to speak or address Commissioner Patillo regarding her retirement, you can do that at this public comment as Commissioner Patillo is on the agenda. So with that, I need a motion to open the floor for public comment.
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? And the floor is now open.
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Pfister. I'm a supervisor for Sussex County Skyland Ride. Excuse me. Although all of you, as commissioners, have been very supportive of Skyland's Ride and all its needs, tonight I would like to give a special thank you to Commissioner Sylvia Patillo, who has been a tremendous advocate for the needs of Skyland's Ride and its passengers. Commissioner Patillo, since becoming our county's commissioner in 2017, has shown her immense knowledge in what our riders' needs are in Sussex County and has put in the extra effort to be sure our county residents are able to get to their medical appointments, employment, shopping, food banks, and needed social services. The need keeps growing, and Skyland's Ride's hope is to be able to provide these services to those in need well into the future. With the addition of our new bus that we recently received, this further helps to ensure our passengers have reliable transportation, and we thank you all. Skyland's Ride can't express how much Commissioner Patillo's contributions to transit have made. We at Skyland's Ride receive appreciation and praise on a daily basis. Please let me share a few statements from passengers that I received just in the last week alone. They have given me permission to quote them. Wilbur Blauvelt: greatest thing for me, if not for your service, I have no other way to get to my dialysis and my many doctor's appointments. God bless you all. David Rearland: this ride is so essential and a necessity. I have been using your buses for many years for renal and for doctor's appointment. This is my only transportation. Thank you so much. Miss Koch, she's the mother of Jennifer. Having a ride for my daughter means everything to me. Being her mom and seeing that she is able to attend her SCARC program 5 days a week. If not for your transit service, it would be a hardship without this service. And lastly, Thomas Clark: thank you so much for this service. It means I can get to my job and I can take care of my responsibilities. If I had $1 million to give away to Skylands, I would give it to you. So you see how much the service is needed and appreciated. And Commissioner Patillo, we credit you with helping to make all this possible. We at Skyland's Ride and our passengers thank you immensely for your role in keeping transit available to the needs of our county's residents for many years to come. In closing, we at Skylands want to thank all of the Board of Commissioners for your support. And to Commissioner Patillo, again, we thank you for your dedicated service over the years, and you will surely be missed. Thank you for
so much.
everything you've
I
done.
want to thank you so much. Do you mind if I interact?
Please.
I want to thank you so much for coming, because Skyland's Ride is a lifeline to our residents. And the work that they do is the type of work that's done quietly. Nobody really sees and understands how it affects all of our residents that need this service. But I think what was really interesting is when we celebrated the 40th anniversary this year, a woman called me up, and she's a writer, and she's one of our complainers, and she used that word. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me using it again. But during COVID, her biggest fear was that you were going to stop the transit, okay? And she realized and began to appreciate what she had. You know, sometimes when you're about to lose something, all of a sudden you begin to appreciate something. And she really understood what that service meant in her life and in the lives of so many others. But the truth of the matter is that our drivers risked their own lives with COVID to make sure that that service continued.
Yes, they did.
And she had a greater respect now for the drivers and everything that they did. So she was funny on the phone. She says, you know me as the one who complains all the time. She says, but it's time that I take a stand and I say thank you. And to everyone that's involved in this particular service, because without it, many of us would not be able to get food or get to our jobs or get to our doctors' offices. So my hope is that this study that is happening right now, recommendations come in, and I did have the opportunity to speak to the consultants, will really not just extend the services, but begin to expand the services as well to all of those needs that have been discussed over the years, you know, the weekends and the later hours and all of those things.
Right.
So I think maybe in the future we'll see the expansion of that service.
Oh, that
but
would
I
be
want to thank
wonderful.
everyone that's here and everyone in the organization for all that they do to make sure that service moves every single day. So
So thank you.
thank
We couldn't
for
do it.
coming.
We couldn't do it with all of you, and we thank you so much for the support. We see it every day, the need, and it's immense, and just getting bigger and bigger every day. So thank you very much, and you
Thanks.
will truly be missed.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jim Yurchek. I live in the town of Newton. I recently moved back into the county about a year and a half ago. I was aware of Skyland's Transit because let me start over. Thank you all for your service. It's much appreciated, and this service provided by Skyland's Transit is a lifesaver. Like I said, I moved in about a year and a half ago back from South Jersey, and I was pretty sick. And without these people, I probably wouldn't be here today. You know, all their drivers go out of their way. You know, I strongly urge the commissioners to approve more buses because some of the buses they have are outdated, and it's got to be. I've been in business my whole life. It's got to be costing the county of Sussex more to repair these old buses than it would to buy new ones. If you amortize the cost over and you run the cost, I did it in my own businesses for years, and it come time to buy new trucks, we bought new trucks. So I just want to say thank you, and I really enjoyed this service. I still don't have a car to drive around. I have my driver's license back, so, you know, I'm getting here one step at a time. But words cannot express my gratitude to Skyland's Transit and to the commissioners for allowing it. And that's about it. I just ask that you continue to service and expand it like you mentioned, Ms. Patillo or Mrs. Patillo, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. God bless.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening. I'm Michelle Borden, the CEO of Newbridge Services, and I'm here representing the mental health community and the Sussex County Mental Health Board to wish you all the best in your retirement and to really point out the service that you have brought to the county, brought to the community, that's been supported by this entire body with your passion and with your perseverance, I think. I was trying to find a nice word. I think we've been able to accomplish a lot. The mental health community needs to have the hope that you provide, and that hope comes with a lot of the other determining factors that you all have supported over the years, such as a ride to the office, a ride to work, a ride to the food bank. There can't be any hope when someone is constantly worrying about putting food on the table, being able to get a sick child to a doctor's appointment. What can I do about their anxiety if I can't do something to remedy the barriers that are keeping them from accessing services? Our mental health is so important, but we can't really maintain our balance if we don't have the interconnection of all those services that you all hear about every single day, from people who live nearby, from people who walk forever to get to some place to get a social service support, and then we hear it in the office. A lot of our clients use the transportation system, they use the food bank system, and we're there to help support them and give them the balance they need and the way to think that allows them to make those kinds of decisions. We can help advocate, but you all are the ones that put those services in place, and we can't thank you enough for being there. So the mental health of this community has a lot to thank you for, and we really wish you the best in your retirement.
I appreciate it. I can only say that I've never watched the different departments in our county work so hard. COVID really came at us and collided with everything we were doing, but through it all, you worked so hard. And I know the big push was to break that barrier of stigma on mental health. And I think the programs that went out were excellent, just excellent. I was glad to help in any way I can. But thank you for all that you do.
It's absolutely.
Because everything is increasing now with mental illness and all of our addictions and everything. And the service that you give and the kindness that you show, you know, makes a difference for everyone.
It does make a difference, and I thank all of you for that, and I thank you for being the example of the servant leader that we all need to have.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening. Becky Carlson, resident of Andover Township, and I'm also the executive director at the Center for Prevention and Counseling located in Newton here. I'm here tonight to say thank you to Commissioner Sylvia Patillo for her steadfast, hard work in our community representing us on the commission. And I thank also all of you for the proclamation given earlier recognizing Alcohol Awareness Month, because that is something, alcohol use disorder affects so many of our people in our community, including our youth, so I thank you for that. I would just like to say that Sylvia is somebody, when I started my job 22 years ago, that came onto my radar pretty quickly. She was a Municipal Alliance member down in Hapakong, and as I shared earlier, she was really a driving force into getting our Project Alert program down there in Hapakong on October 18th, many, many years ago, by really working in the community with collaborative efforts, getting the firemen to post banners, getting people to wear buttons saying October 18th, ? Working with the schools, having the Girl Scouts there to babysit that night, and so excited that night we had over 1,100 people come out to hear an excellent program to open their eyes about the issues that we were seeing at that time. Over the years, we have worked together for town hall meetings to address alcohol, for town hall meetings to address the opioid epidemic. Sylvia was there at the table when we started CLEAR back in 2015 and has been a steadfast member and advocate for CLEAR in our community, where now we have anybody in our community can walk into any police department and ask for help with their substance use disorder. And there's a 24/7 toll-free line that people can call and ask for help and be matched up with a recovery coach. So here we've got law enforcement and people in recovery working together to help people get into recovery. And Sylvia has been one of our biggest advocates, talking about this program everywhere she goes, advocating for it and letting people be aware of it and bringing awareness. But your passion and your dedication that you show for so many different causes, as I heard so many people today talking about the work that you've done and their love for you from the bottom of their hearts, and that's how we feel at our agency. All 58 staff members were so excited to sign a thing that, the heart thing that we gave you earlier, because they've recognized that you've been a coalition member for over 20 years. You've been at our events, you promote our events, and you really care about the community, including our youth. So I wish you all the best. I hope that we see you often. And again, thank you for all of your work in Sussex County.
Thank you so much. I just want to say that when I met Becky, I was on the school board, and she used to come with her little car filled with cookies and tables and everything else. Often we would pack her up to go home, and I didn't know how she fit in the car. I was surprised, I didn't know how you could see out of the windows, but you did that for many, many years. And I think the beauty of and the success of what you laid as a foundation is why we're so successful now with CLEAR. That was all your dream, your perseverance, and your passion that built all that up to a point where now the state recognizes that program. And I consider myself more a spotlight on the work that these departments and these people from the private organizations accomplish. It's their hard work. So I want to thank you that I'm allowed to be a part of that, and I'm going to continue to be a part of that.
But Sylvia, a community problem needs a community solution,
Absolutely.
and you truly have been part of that solution, so thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kenneth Collins, Andover. Good evening. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for towing the line on the budget. I think you guys did a great job of that, and it's not easy. And I wanted to take a moment to also encourage you to continue to toe the line on the budget and make sure you can, deliver a solid budget going forward. And I'm also here about the resolution for the Delaware water gap. I just wanted to thank you for writing this resolution to keep the Delaware water gap from being taken over by the federal government. I'm very familiar with the water gap. I'm up there a lot. I hike all around, and I know a lot of it is in a very deteriorated condition, and it needs attention. But giving the whole thing to the federal government is not the way to go. We need to keep it here. It's ours. And thank you for that.
Thank you.
And one last thing, it just wouldn't be right to not take a moment to thank Commissioner Patillo for her service and all of the great things she's done for our community.
Appreciate that from you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Hearing none, can I please have a motion to close the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Item 10 on our agenda is commissioner comments, and we're going to do things a little bit differently this evening. Or the first thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to read into the record written commentary provided to us by Commissioner Fantasia. This is directly from Commissioner Fantasia, and I'll read it into the record as her comments tonight. I extend my apologies for not being present at tonight's meeting due to illness, and unfortunately, as per medical guidance, I may not report back to work at this time. As such, my comments will be brief. There are 2 items tonight on tonight's agenda that I would like to address on record. The first is to offer my support for a resolution in opposition to the designation of the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area as a national park. I stand with the New Jersey Outdoor Alliance, NJOA, and the 1.2 million outdoorsmen and outdoorswomen who champion the intrinsic value of natural resource conservation, including fishing, hunting, and trapping. This national park designation proposal is not a new concept. This plan was defeated several years ago and is now coming to light by both Pennsylvania and New Jersey chapters of the Sierra Club. I wholeheartedly agree with the NJOA's stance that, as a rule, national parks, with rare exception, are closed to hunting and all other competitive uses. For advocates of the designation to suggest any unspecified portion of the Delaware Water Gap would be classified as a preserve, which would allow hunting and fishing, is weak at best. The advocates cannot provide a map of percentages of the park versus preserve. Keep in mind that even a 10% loss of hunting and hunting land translates to losing 5,400 acres, or 8.4 square miles in New Jersey. We have a governor who blatantly refutes the clear scientific fact that controlled hunting is a part of a comprehensive wildlife management strategy. And part of a comprehensive wildlife management strategy is to minimize the ever-increasing encounters with wildlife, is educating the public in responsibly coexisting with wildlife, paired with a controlled hunt to keep populations stable and healthy. However, we have clear evidence that reducing huntable land will only further exacerbate the ever-increasing encounters with wildlife, be it deer or bear. We know that New Jersey's comprehensive black bear management policy expired, and a draft of a new policy was promptly provided for review and approval in March of 2021, and it sat ignored at the direction of the governor. Unfortunately, we live in a state where lawmakers who are so fond of passing laws on issues that will never affect them day to day never get a real taste of what they're legislating for. As such, I do not support the designation proposal, and I stand with those in opposition to the proposal in the best interest of Sussex County and its residents. Tonight, the board votes to adopt the 2022 county budget, and I am proud to stand behind a plan that represents a decrease in the county tax rate from 0.5443 in 2021 to 0.5218 in 2022. With unprecedented increases to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments due from the county to assist Sussex County residents seeking care in state mental health facilities, and sharp increases in retirement funding, the county was able to move forward with our goals of increasing pay for county workers who stood strong during the pandemic, even when multiple departments in the state of New Jersey did not. They enhanced Health and Human Services, expanded our budget for the Office of Bridge and Traffic Safety, providing safe, upgraded transportation vehicles to best serve our seniors, supporting engineering and planning in our technical high school and county college, and again, we stayed the course with our plan to increase funding towards debt services to reduce our county debt. As I stated in our last meeting, this process is a joint effort of careful budgeting by department heads and our constitutional officers, our CFO and finance department, the county administrator as well. I support this budget, and I thank all who work together to bring this board's goals to fruition to best serve the residents of Sussex County. And last, I would like to thank Commissioner Sylvia Patillo for her years of serving on this board. She is an irreplaceable mentor and friend, and her heart, her work ethic, and conviction, specifically regarding health and human services, are unparalleled. She leaves enormous shoes to fill. I wish her and her husband Ron much luck in their new home in beautiful Warren County, quite literally a stone's throw from our border. And I ask that she remembers that Sussex County will always be home. That's from Commissioner Fantasia, who could not be here. That is her public comment for tonight. And with that, I'm going to pass along to Commissioner Yardley for your comments.
Well, thank you. Before I start, I'll be reading some public health information. And I want to say to Sylvia, you're leaving behind your child. And that's the Department of Health and Human Services that she has handled and given reports for 7 years, is it?
Yeah,
Right?
6 years.
And she guarded and protected that department, and that sounds kind of silly, but she was very proactive, made sure things got done, and just, we will miss your reports. And I used to kid her around. We used to just kid her a lot of times saying, cut it short or something. You were very thorough, and we will miss those reports. And she was active. She would stop into that department many times to check on the activities, things that were happening. And we'll miss you. And I appreciate all the hard work that you've done. And we will look after your department.
Thank you, Herb.
So we have National Public Health Week is April 4th to April 10th. And this is the week of April 4th to 10th is National Public Health Week. This year's theme is Public Health is Where You Are, signifying that places we are physically, mentally, socially affect our health and lives. This week is to recognize the importance and value of public health, the workforce in building healthy communities and addressing health disparities. It's also time to acknowledge the resilience of the dedicated public health staff who have worked tirelessly throughout the pandemic and continue to do so, serving the Sussex County community. In Sussex County, the Office of Public Health Nursing provides a variety of services to its residents with the hope of improving overall health, including clinics, screening, vaccinations, health education, and preventative programs, communicable disease investigations and reporting, community outreach, immunization for adults, emergency preparedness, and special child health services. So to learn more about the programs, you can go to Sussex County website at www.sussexnjus/health, or you can call the Office of Public Health Nursing at 973-579-0570. The Division of Senior Services has a caregiver support group meeting that will be held in person at the Hopakon Community Resource and Wellness Center, 47 Hopakjung Road, Hopakon, from 5:30 to 6:30 on Tuesday, April 19th. This group helps reduce the negative effect of stress, and I should go to that group, I think. Increases the physical and psychological wellness of caregivers. It also provides information about programs and services available to caregivers, information on how to access these services, and provide referrals as necessary. For more information, you can call 973-579-0555, extension 1288, the Division of Senior Services. COVID update. The most recent New Jersey Department of Health COVID activity level reports as of last week, March 26th, the entire state, including our region, is coded yellow, which indicates very moderate activity level. It's consistent with those other states across the nation. We are having about 20 cases, daily cases are reported. COVID reports an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases. The county has a total of 35,140 cases, representing 25% of our population, and a total of 474 deaths, representing 1.3 of all the cases. Few hospitalization remarks. On January, we had 207. February were 49, and March is 23. There were 10 outbreaks in the county. One at an acute care facility, 5 at long-term care facility, and 1 group home, 2 daycares, and 1 in the workplace. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Herb. Now we'll move to Deputy Director Carney.
Thank you, Director. I'm going to start with my engineering, just a project update. This includes milling, paving, striping, and ADA upgrades as necessary of select distressed Sussex County routes. Route selection is predicated upon a conditional assessment and rating completed by the Sussex County Division of Engineering and Sussex County Division of Public Works. The contract was awarded to the low bidder, Riverview Paving, and that was awarded on August 11, 21, in the amount of $10,773,923.57. That's 34.36 miles of work, and that's funded through the NJDOT, State Aid, and County Capital. ADA upgrade will commence on April 4th, 22. Milling and paving work will recommence on April 25th. And just to give you an idea, whoever's out there who lives in these towns, I will read you the roads and the dates when they will start. The ADA upgrade work will start April 4th to the 6th on Woodside Ave, April 6th to the 11th, Lake Mohawk East Shore Trail, April 8th to the 14th, Maxim Drive, River Styx Road, April 18th to the 25th, Sparta Munson's Corner Road, April 22nd to the 26th, Vernon Stockholm Road. Milling and paving will start on April 25th to the 26th, Drew Mountain Road, April 28th to the 29th, Sanderson Flatbrook Road, May 2nd to the 3rd, Leighton Bevins Road, May 6th to the 9th, Bellwood Creamery Middleville Road, May 11th to the 12th, Woodside Ave, May 16th to 23rd, Lake Mohawk East Shore Trail, May 25th to June 8th, Old Stanhope Road, June 10th to the 21st, Maxim Drive, River Styx Road, June 23rd to the 30th, Sparta Munson's Corner Road, and July 5th to the 8th, Vernon Stockholm Road. Routes completed last year of the fall were 2, Highland Lakes Road and Grant Price Road. Obviously, this is subject to change with the weather as crazy it is in New Jersey, also in springtime, as it has been the last 2 days. On a personal note, Commissioners Fantasia and Yardley, myself, we were able to go to the Chamber of Commerce banquet/gala last Friday. They do a great job, our Chamber of Commerce. Tammy does a great job. It was a very good event, well organized, very low price for what you got there, but it was a very good event for everybody to come to. I appreciate that. The budget, wanted to touch base on the budget. I am proud of the budget. I think everybody who had their hand in it, all the commissioners, Elka and Greg, and the administrators, they do a good job trying to cut costs where we can. But at the same time, it is important, and people should realize that we need to pay our employees properly. You know, this is not a depot for people to come and go. We would like people to stay here and you know, spend 20, 25 years here and have their retirement here. They live in the county, most of the people who work here, and it's nice for them to be close to home and work. So I appreciate that from everybody. I want to touch base a little bit on Sylvia. She's been a mentor to all of us up here, I do believe. I've only been here for a year. I've only known Sylvia for a few years, but she's definitely made an impact on me. I've called her a lot of times, asking questions, coming up with ideas, and Sometimes my ideas aren't that good, apparently. But I always had somebody to call, and she would always give me that honest answer and maybe tell me, we've tried that before and that doesn't work. So I appreciate that. I'm going to miss that. I'm still going to probably call her, but I will miss her being by my side. So good luck, her and Ronnie. Ronnie, he's a member of SCUMA, which is very important, and I appreciate you too, Ronnie. I really do. I spent some time with you at the landfill, and that was important. I know where your head is and your heart is, and I really appreciate that. So good luck to both of you guys. You will be missed. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Deputy Director Carney, and thank you to all who are joining us this evening. We do have a lot going on right here in Sussex County and at our meeting tonight, so I'll get right into it, and I'll start with just a quick programming note. We heard a few moments ago a written statement from Commissioner Fantasia, and I also wanted to mention that Commissioner Fantasia has been extremely instrumental in Resolution 14F on tonight's agenda. That is a resolution opposing the designation of the National Water Gap Recreation Area as a national park, pending further communication and clarity. I know I just actually saw you walk in. Commissioner Fantasia did provide a commentary that you missed, but we will actually be reading that resolution into the record tonight. I think it covers the topic pretty well, so just bear with us, okay? As we also mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, my friend, my colleague, Commissioner Patillo, is about to embark on the next chapter of her life, and I'm going to miss working with her dearly on this board. Sylvia is a remarkably effective advocate for Sussex County and the people who call it home. At this level, before her many years of public service prior to joining the county, Commissioner Patillo has been massively instrumental in our health and human services, our addiction recovery, community outreach, and social wellness efforts in the county. Sussex County has benefited tremendously thanks to your leadership, but also your willingness to simply care. And I am forever, ever, ever appreciative of that and your service to Sussex County. And I know Commissioner Patillo would probably rather not have us speak about her tonight and highlight what she's done for Sussex County, and I am going to move on in just a moment, but I think it's important, and I think it's worth sharing with others, a quick story that I shared earlier about how you and I first met, the first day that we met, almost 10 years ago exactly. And at that time, I was barely a college freshman with no idea of what I wanted to do in my life or how government worked, but I had a thought that maybe, just maybe, I could be impactful on my local school board in Hopatcon. I just had no idea where to start. So on a random Friday after class, I thought it would be a good idea to email the mayor of Hopatcon at the time, her name was Sylvia Patillo, telling her about my background, and thought it was at least worth a shot asking for a 5-minute phone call with the mayor I never met and who never met me. She called me immediately, and she asked me what I was doing for breakfast the next morning. And she came to my house with bagels, and we spoke for 8 hours. And she answered every possible question I had, and I still to this day cannot believe it. I can't believe that she gave me this much time, and I can't believe that we have a mayor like that, and that we have a commissioner like that. And that was my first impression of Sylvia 10 years ago. It remains my impression today, more than a decade later. I can't believe we managed to serve on the same board together. I can't thank you enough for everything. So simply, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, there is an additional resolution on tonight's agenda. That's 14D, which calls for the continued presence of ballot drop boxes in existing locations. The reason for this resolution is recent legislation, PL 2021, Chapter 459, which now restricts the location of ballot drop boxes. For background, Sussex County's ballot drop boxes were installed in 2020, and each location had to meet specific criteria under the law. The new recent legislation states, and I quote, "Except as otherwise provided herein, no ballot drop box shall be located inside or within 100 feet of an entrance, exit, or an exit of a state, county, or municipal police station." Many Sussex County ballot drop boxes are located on these locations due to them being sometimes the only location that complied with the law, and that many municipalities here in Sussex County share spaces with their police departments. The new legislation goes on to state that ballot drop boxes that have already been installed within 100 feet of a police station may remain in place if the county commissioners approve the continued presence at these locations, which is the reason for this resolution tonight. And one other item I did just want to touch on, and I know we've touched on it at previous meetings, and that is our budget. And I did just want to thank our entire budget team, the commissioners up here with me, who worked on this budget, and I can say with absolute confidence that fiscal responsibility, protecting the taxpayer, and our financial positioning long term, even in the face of significant mandated cost health increases, is prevalent here. And those increases do include health insurance, workers' comp, liability, pension, state psychiatric expenses, as Dawn mentioned. All of that are obstacles to compete with. But just very quickly, what our numbers don't necessarily show in our budget are some goals that we achieved in this budget, which includes the continued development of an asset management system within engineering and planning. It complies with the demands created from the state enacting early voting and vote by mail. It supports public works with staffing resources to fulfill highway occupancy permit requirements. It provides funding for on-the-go expenses associated with, provides funding for ongoing expenses associated with legacy site remediation projects. It maintains the level of funding for debt service and capital improvements consistent with the board's adopted debt policy. It implements additional risk control initiatives to promote occupational health and safety. It increases employee training and professional development opportunities. It continues our automation efforts in employee services and payroll. It calls for the development of grant policies. It calls for the development of a document management system. It calls for strategic planning in the area of information technology. It enhances and reinstates community services interrupted during the pandemic. Calls for social services to adapt training more effectively to meet customer demands, along with our overdose facility review team to make recommendations for program development, and continues with our Division of Health accreditation process, and improves integrated pest management for a more effective response to mosquito-borne illnesses, especially after the report of the Jamestown virus recently in Sussex County. It increases awareness of Skyland's ride transportation services. It develops architectural plans for the Dennis Library renovation project, the largest capital project in Sussex County in 30 years. It calls for funding to all weather events, specifically snow and ice control, to ensure public safety. It continues the annual pavement marking program, the inspection, repair, and cleaning of stormwater basins, the guide rail repairs and replacements that have been ongoing, capital investments in the repair and maintenance of facilities, including here at the college and at our technical school. It assesses the effectiveness of new trail grant programs, and it increases pay-as-you-go funding for capital projects to continue to pay debt, all while making our required pension payments. Those are not easy things to accomplish. I thank all of you for spending the last many, many months on getting this budget, what I equate to be our most important policy of the year, accomplished, and it's a job well done. So with that, I'm going to conclude my remarks, and I'm going to hand it off for her final time to Commissioner Patillo for hers.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to thank Greg, our BA, and Elka, our CFO, that are here for all of the hard work. We had a lot of little twists and turns in this budget, but it has all of the programs and all the resources we need for the people in our community. And since the increase in needs, especially things like the programs that you just heard many people speak about, transit being one of them, I want to thank you that everything is there that we need for another successful year. So with vaccinations, the second booster shots will now be available and offered at upcoming clinics through the Division of Health. There are eligibility requirements for the second booster shots, which can be found online at the Division of Health webpage on the Sussex County website at www.sussex.nj.us. Sussex County Division of Health, in collaboration with Sparta Pharmacy, is offering COVID-19 vaccinations for Moderna, 18 and older, Johnson & Johnson, 18 and older, Pfizer 12+, and Pfizer Pediatric 5 to 11 vaccines. Available vaccine options include first, second, and third additional doses and boosters. The clinics below are being held on the following dates at the locations outlined below. At Hardest and Municipal Building, On Thursday, April 7th, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., J&J and Moderna only. At the Health Division Office of Public Health and Nursing at Hardiston, Wednesday, April 20th, from 8:30 to 5:30 p.m., J&J and Moderna only. Tuesday, April 26th, from 3 to 6 p.m., J&J Moderna only. And the Byram Firehouse at 225 Route 206 Stanhope, Thursday, April 14th, from 12:30 to 3:30 p.m., J&J, Moderna, and Pfizer will also be available, as well as the blood pressure screenings. To complete your consent form in advance, visit the Sussex County website at www.sussex.nj.us. Public Health and Nursing continues to provide homebound vaccinations. If you didn't know that and you have someone who is homebound, we do provide those vaccinations for them. The New Jersey Department of Health reports that 189,197 doses of vaccine have been administered to date. 104,225 Sussex County residents have received at least one vaccine dose, and 92,721 Sussex County residents are fully vaccinated. The number of booster doses are not available. But for information about booster shots, including eligibility requirements, vaccinations, testing, or the COVID-19 virus, you can visit the Sussex County website at www.sussex.newjersey.us or call the Office of Public Health Nursing at 973-579-0570, extension 1211. So by now, most of you or everyone here knows that I'm retiring as of tomorrow. So tonight is my last meeting. It's a lot of last things tonight. I had a wonderful party, and I thank Carol so much for that, and so many people came, and it was just nice to be in one place with people that you loved and great friends, and I appreciate all of them, and I appreciate everyone associated with this organization. They are top-notch. They represent the county beautifully, and they work in ways that you can't even imagine, way beyond what we want them to do. They just call and do things that are so far beyond their own job all the time, and I just want to thank them all for that. So I'd like to leave you with my final thoughts. There are special moments in your life that hold a special place in your heart that you will never forget. For me, tonight is one of those moments. Leaving public office after 26 years brings mixed emotions, a sadness as I reflect on my past experiences, and an anticipation as I enter a new season in my life. Although I was elected to the County Commissioner Board in 2016, I was not a stranger to the county. As mayor of Apacon, the county became an extension of the borough resources and a lifeline during Hurricane Sandy. As I served on the Commissioner Board, I realized the true depth of this organization and the exceptional staff that do the impossible every day in order to meet the increasing needs of our residents. I will never forget March 2020 when the first case of COVID-19 appeared in New Jersey. Instantly, everything changed. Our normal operating procedures collided with a worldwide pandemic and tested the strength, commitment, and skill of our entire government structure. We rose to the occasion, adapted to every unique situation, and made sure that all of our operations remained in place while conforming with every new state directive. It has been rewarding to be the liaison to the Health and Human Services Department for so many years. I had the great pleasure of getting to know all of the dedicated and passionate people in that department that make a difference everywhere they go. During Sandy, they came to the Apacon High School to assist residents who were forced to leave their homes. It was like an army of angels had arrived with smiles on their faces and compassion in their hearts. We could have never made it through the crisis without them. I am so proud of our county and all that we have accomplished together. It has been an amazing experience for me to collaborate with our staff and the Center of Prevention to fight against the scourge of drug abuse and offer strong recovery programs that save lives. I also have great admiration for Project Self-Sufficiency, for their services that restore hope to so many individuals and families. I greatly appreciate all of our partner organizations that reach out to the community and touch the lives of so many people. I have also been fortunate to serve with an amazing administrator, central office staff, attorney, and board members. Each one of the commissioners has a love for our county and a desire to protect and improve the quality of life for everyone. I leave the county in loving hands and wish them all the best. It has been said that the true joy of life is being used for a purpose that is recognized by yourself as a mighty one. How fitting those words are for me tonight. I am truly grateful for the opportunities that have been afforded to me by the residents of Sussex County. It has been a joy to serve my community and meet so many extraordinary people. Thank you so much for all your support and for all the wonderful memories. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Patillo. Item 11 on our agenda is the approval of our consent agenda, in which there is none. Item 12 on our agenda is the approval of our minutes from March 23rd, 2022, both our regular and executive session. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting and executive session?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? And motion carries. Item 13 on our agenda is our appointments and/or resignations, in which we have none. Item 14 on our agenda is our resolutions portion.
I would like to have a comment. Can you just, F?
Yes, we're going to separate F because we have to read that. So for now, do we have any resolutions for 14A to E?
No.
Oh, motion?
Mhm.
So moved. I'm sorry.
Commissioner,
That's what you wanted me to do?
Commissioner Patillo moves 14A through E. Is there a second for 14A through E?
No, I'm going to second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds.
I rescind.
Any discussion for 14A through E? Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Carney,
Yes.
Director Fasano,
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley.
Yes.
Okay. Item 14F, a resolution in opposition to the designation of the Delaware Water Gap National Recreational Area as a national park, pending further communication and clarity that will aid in the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners in making a decision that balances the equities of all interested persons, including but not limited to those New Jersey's more than 1.2 million outdoors women and men. That was listed in title only. Commissioner Fantasia was very instrumental in working on this, along with counsel sitting here to my right, and I'm going to just read this into the record for tonight. Whereas on September 1st, 1965, the United States Congress enacted an act to authorize establishment of the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area and for other purposes, DEWA, in order to, among other things, provide for the public outdoor recreation use and enjoyment and for the preservation of the scenic, scientific, and historic features contributing to the public enjoyment of such lands and waters. And whereas the DEWA currently encompasses some 70,000 acres in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, including some 54,000 acres in Sussex and Warren counties alone, and which offers myriad recreational opportunities such as hunting, fishing, swimming, camping, biking, hiking, walking, tubing, boating, skiing, bird watching, horseback riding, photography, sightseeing, and hosts and promotes educational and other programs, including special events, and protects and preserves natural resources, endangered, threatened, and rare species of plants, animals, and other wildlife. And whereas the New Jersey and Pennsylvania chapters of the Sierra Club are among the groups of individuals and entities interested in resurrecting a long-dormant and long-defeated plan to designate the DEWA a national park and preserve, but who have offered limited insight, information, communication, and clarification as to the scope and effect of said designation on issues of interest to the residents of Sussex County, including but not limited to the location, size, and scope of the proposed preserved area, the fees charged and collected therefor, the activities allowed and disallowed thereon, including but not limited to hunting, fishing, wildlife management, and outdoor recreation, and the impact on public and private lands and interests therein, including matters of eminent domain. And whereas the failure of the designation's advocates to provide complete information or promote transparency are matters of grave concern to the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners. Now therefore be it resolved that the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners does hereby oppose any change in designation of the National Water Gap National Recreation Area. Be it further resolved that the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners specifically opposes the proposal advocated for by the New Jersey and Pennsylvania chapters of the Sierra Club and others, the effect of which would be to change the DEWA designation to that of a national park or preserve without first presenting a formal plan and answering fully, completely, and to the satisfaction of this board and the Sussex County public that it represents, any and all questions regarding the agricultural, economic, and environmental impacts of said designation, the sources of funding, any proposed fees and changes for said use, any and all plans for acquisition of public and private lands by eminent domain or by any other means, a map depicting the full and complete area of designation and any sub-designations thereof, and the impact said proposal and designation would have on hunting, fishing, wildlife management, and active and passive outdoor recreation and education activities generally and to the residents of Sussex County specifically. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution shall be caused to be served on all state and federal elected officials representing New Jersey generally and the County of Sussex specifically, as well as the local governments of the County of Sussex, United States Senators Patrick Toomey and Bob Casey, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, National Park Services, Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area, Delaware River Basin Commission, New Jersey and Pennsylvania chapters of the Sierra Club, the New Jersey Outdoors Alliance, Partnership for Delaware Estuary, National Lands Trust, Warren County Board of County Commissioners, and Sussex and Warren County Superintendents of Schools, certified as a true copy of resolution adopted by the board on the 6th day of April 2022. So I did just want to read that into the record. And with that, is there a motion to adopt item 14F?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion?
Yeah, I would just like to add, I'm not sure anybody would be for this. The only the only thought I might have is some people like to make history. And obviously with this, we're making it the 47th, I think, federal park in the state, in the country. That's making history. Well, you don't need to make history. You need to work for the people and think about them, not just yourself. But I also want to say this is a resolution, and this is a letter. So keep up that fight. Whether we do a resolution or we don't do it, you still need to contact the people the agencies who are responsible for this, and let them hear your voice, right? It's important that they hear that. And if they don't hear your voice, you let them know at the polls to hear your voice. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Carney. Any other comments? Seeing none, we have a motion. We have a second. Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Item passes. We're on to item 15 on our agenda, which is the awards of contract change orders and bids. The Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contract change orders and bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 15A?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion? Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Item 16 on our agenda is our financial portion. There is none. I did just want to make a note that there is no bills list this evening. Bills lists are done on the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month as per a resolution passed each year by the board at its annual reorganization meeting. And since this meeting was changed to this Wednesday, there is no bills list for this meeting, but of course this bills list will be reflected in our next meeting. Item 17 is our personnel portion. We have none. Item 18 is our administrative report. I'll hand it off to our County Administrator, Mr. Gregory Poff.
Thank you, Director. The Office of Public Health Nursing reports that seasonal influenza activity level is high statewide and specifically in the Northwest region. Emergency department visits associated with the influenza-like illness are higher than last week and higher than the same week last year. The Division of Engineering advises that the Department of Transportation has authorized the various requested extensions for a number of our local bridges future needs program grants, so that's good news, allowing us additional time to complete the design on a number of those bridges, and that the Division of Senior Services is sponsoring a Sussex County Veterans Appreciation Luncheon on Monday, April 25th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Farmstead Golf and Country Club. RSVPs are requested by April 18th by calling 973-579-0555, extension 1277. And I didn't speak earlier. I wanted to save my comments for my report since I have the opportunity to do so. And there are two words that come to mind when I think about having had the honor and privilege to work with Commissioner Patillo. And there are two words that we have heard not only this afternoon but throughout this evening, and that is thank you. Thank you for your dedication, and clearly from all those that spoke this afternoon and even then came back for this evening's meeting, your dedication is quite clear to the people of the county. And thank you for your commitment to serving county government. Our paths have crossed. Mine serving as administrator, you serving as commissioner. And whenever I picked up the phone and said, Sylvia, we need to have a meeting, or there's an issue, or, I have something to run past you, you were always there without any hesitation or reservation, and it really shows a demonstrated commitment to the good of the county. And lastly, to thank you for your support. It's been a true honor to be able to work with you, and I'm going to miss you very much.
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, thank you so much. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Greg. Item 19 on our agenda is our County Council report. Mr. Steinhardt, do you have anything for us tonight?
Just one item, the suit on the public question on the OPRAs that we had requested of the state that were never provided. I signed off on it around 4 o'clock this afternoon, so that should have been filed with the courts. If not earlier this evening, will be on record by tomorrow morning.
Excellent. Thank you. Item 20 on our agenda is unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business tonight? Item 21 on our agenda is new business. Do we have any new business tonight? Item 22 is our public session from the floor. This is our second public session from the floor, and it's for those wishing to make general comments of 3 minutes or less on non-agenda topics. You can simply please line up at the microphone and maintain 6 feet social distance with other attendees, and when you arrive, please state your name and your municipality for the record. With that, is there a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries, and the floor is now open.
Kenneth Collins, Andover, New Jersey. I'm here because there's a bridge on County Road 517 in Andover. It's immediately adjacent to the Andover Presbyterian Church, and it goes over the river that passes between the Presbyterian Church and the old grist mill building on 517, and it's been allowed to deteriorate for a long time to the point where the railings on the sides of the road, which are cement on rebar, are more rebar than they are cement now. Someone hit the guardrail, I guess, sometime last year on one side of the bridge, immediately adjacent to the bridge, and it's bent in, and there's a big orange plastic traffic cone there to keep people from driving off through this gap between the guardrail and the bridge, and there's almost no cement left on the one side of the bridge, and the other side it's maybe a third rebar, the third of the cement's gone. So it really needs attention, and it's had that plastic cone there for months and months, and I'm just wondering if you guys can prod the department of the roads department to get out there and get that bridge repaired, because it's really dangerous. There's a lot of traffic through there, a lot of semi trucks that go over that bridge every day, and it really needs attention. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Josh Osban, Wantage, New Jersey. And I just want to talk about the COVID restrictions. I know right now we don't really have any, but I talked to Gregory Poff. I had a very nice conversation with Gregory Poff, talking about, I wanted to go to the library a couple months ago, and they wouldn't let me in without a mask, and I have not been wearing a mask for a year. Nobody had to wear a mask for a year. And I asked what the scientific evidence for that was, and he didn't have any. He told me he didn't have any. And I understand it's very difficult for politicians right now to go against it, because you'll get accused of trying to kill people and stuff like that. But I think, it's time to admit that the stuff that has been done, the drastic restrictions, have been so harmful for society that they have outweighed any benefit they could have possibly done. We still don't know what's going on with the Murphy investigation as far as the nursing homes. We had so many people die because on just bizarre treatment. It's just bizarre. And I like like the PCR test, we talk about cases. The guy who invented the test said it's not used to diagnose illness. If you magnify it enough, run enough cycles, you'll find anything you're looking for. So it's not, I don't think it's a legitimate test.
Excuse me, can you speak more into that microphone?
Okay, sure. Okay.
Because I'm interested in to hear what you're saying.
Okay, yeah. So Kerry Mullis was the inventor of the PCR test, and he said it was not to be used for diagnosing illnesses. We have, I don't know how many false positives happened in the last couple of years. And then I just want to point out something else that I sent to Gregory Poff about the masks are EUA medical devices. According to FDA, you do not have to wear it if you don't want to because it's EUA. And also point out that, and I'm not against anybody getting a vaccine. I think everybody has a right to get whatever treatment they want. They think it's going to help them. But they should acknowledge that the vaccines are not FDA approved. They say they were FDA approved, but to my knowledge, up to last month, they were still not available, the Comirnaty vaccines. So it's important to point that out. And I'm not saying they're bad or anything. I'm not making a judgment that you shouldn't get it, but people have to know that they're not getting the FDA approved one. And so, as far as, making people wear masks, I know we don't have it now. I don't want it to ever come back, and I think we should never do these restrictions again on people. It's just wrong. The kids have had 3 straight years of horrible school years, and the effects, it's been published, the effects on them have been disastrous. And we know it's a dark agenda behind it. We know it's all coming from the World Economic Forum, all right? And politicians have to admit it, have to acknowledge that. And I'm not criticizing anybody, because it's a very tough position for you to be in. It's unprecedented. Nobody has ever had to deal with that kind of decision to make. So I'm not, angry at anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. But I think going forward, we have to learn from our mistakes and say, okay, the CDC, we don't agree with them, or the FDA, or whoever. We can't be ordered around. We can't lose our rights because of an illness. We're destroying the country because of that. And it starts right here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Barbara Holstein, Montague. First of all, I wanted to, say thank you for your service to the county, Ms. Patillo.
Thank you.
I appreciate your service, as well as acknowledge how difficult sometimes it is to be in an elected position. I'd also like to point out that I'm really happy to see this tonight. Sorry I can't get here on time. I was working. But this is just an incredible resolution.
Ma'am, what is that in your hand?
This is your designation of the response to the water gap, Delaware water gap. So having a lot of history in my life, I studied the Tox Island and the incredible harm that the Tox Island and eminent domain took on the region. The lemonade of that was that we have beautiful area and we do not look like the Poconos in the 209 side. So you can drive down Old Mine Road and enjoy a huge section of natural enjoyment. Much of New Jersey, if you go down the Pinelands, had some of the same things. We've been able to do that without national park status. I agree that maybe, at Great Falls in Patterson, the national park status is worthy, but this isn't sidewalks and streetlights here. And that's what's happened, or what will happen to our side of New Jersey. I think it was Mr. Carney, you may have mentioned about preserving the land that we have there so that it's here for future generations and so forth. And it was something specific, but it made me think of Montague, because in Montague we have been trying as a town to work with the National Park Service in its current configuration as a recreational area, and they don't want to work with us. They don't want to work with the town. They don't want to work with the people. They give the people whom they do have things with, like Foster Armstrong House and the Neldon Roberts Schoolhouse, they give a very hard time for anything getting done there. They don't want to maintenance the fields. They don't want to do certain things. So they don't cooperate with the towns. And if they would cooperate with the towns as a national park and recreation status, we would have a better area just with the national recreation area. So on that note, I want to say everything he said was really, really good. The guy that just spoke before me, I implore you guys to stand fast. We are not masking again. I'm not masking again, and I don't wear a mask anywhere else. So it needs to be optional, no mandatory vaccines, and you need to look into, if you're requiring testing purposes, he's absolutely right. All the PCR tests say for diagnostic purposes only. I take one every week because I have to humiliate myself every week at work and go stand in line to be tested. I do a spit test. It says diagnostic purposes. I'm sorry, not for diagnostic purposes, for research purposes only. They're not even for diagnostic purposes. We have been hoodwinked, and our tax dollars are being spent frivolously on something that's no different than flu A or flu B. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great night.
Thank you.
William Hayden, Frankfort, New Jersey. I just want to thank you very much for the resolution in opposition of the federal park. It will do a lot if it is stopped to help our farmers and our hunters. And Sylvia, congratulations and good luck on your retirement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Sandy Hall from Layton, New Jersey. I really want to thank you for passing this resolution. You are asking the hard questions. You're looking for the hard data. You're asking for a transparency and responsibility, which has not really been forthcoming, as you know, if you've heard the other statements. And thank you for representing the best interests for the people who have put you where you are. And heartfelt, thank you again for doing this. You are leading the way. We will continue to speak up. We will continue to speak out. We have a website. We now have 1,600 members on our Facebook page, and we are certainly moving forward and making progress. So thank you again for your support.
Thank you. Excuse me, ma'am. You said you had a website?
Facebook.
What is that website? NoNationalPark.org.
That's correct. Our email address is nonationalpark2030@gmail.com, and we are No National Park on Facebook.
No National Park on Facebook. Got it. Thank you so much. Okay, is there anybody else who would like to speak from our public session? Seeing none, I need a motion to close the floor for public comment and return to regular business.
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. We're now returning to public session. Item 23 is our reminders portion. We'd like to remind you to please please check the county's website at sussex.nj.us for meeting schedules, the latest COVID guidance, and the latest county announcements, whether it's business, health and human services, roads and bridges, or more. And with that, Terry, for item 24, want to do yours first, right? Yeah, we'll have you read first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas the subject matters about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution of the Board of County Commissioners as an exception to the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B, and whereas it appears necessary for the Board of County Commissioners to discuss such matters in executive session, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12B and NJSA 10:4-13, that the Board at this time enter into an executive session from which the public shall be excluded. And be it further resolved that the general nature of the subjects to be discussed relate to the following items authorized by NJSA 10:4-12B as designated. Item number 7, matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and the attorney-client privilege. The items are as follows: attorney-client communication, PBA 138 Sheriff's Unit, American Rescue Plan Act, and the Adult Protective Services SSX 982-20. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners or provided by law that the subject interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. And be it further resolved that upon completion of the business for which the board has entered into the executive session, the board shall not reconvene and resume its meeting open to the public, and therefore the board will adjourn its meeting from executive session.
Thank you, Terry. Before we adjourn this meeting tonight, I did just have one little thing from the board to Commissioner Patillo, from all of us.
More
Thank
flowers.
you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Sylvia, I'm going to ask if you would like to make the final motion of the evening to adopt the executive session resolution and enter into executive session.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Get home safe. Thank you.